impersonator, and I guess he had bad blood with his impersonator from before because he signs autographs claiming to be Trace Adkins. And Trace has had some personal demons as of late, and it didn't help the situation. It got him worked up, I guess, and got into it on the cruise with his, his impersonator.
Yeah.
Ended up where I guess he went to Jamaica or whatever, and then Trace Adkins, the real one, got off the boat.
The real one.
In Jamaica, which is interesting. And,
yes.
And, I guess they had another confrontation later on. I don't know, but now they're separated, and Trace is spouting out about the whole situation. And maybe we'll have like a wrestling match, like the Undertaker versus Undertaker.
That's right. or if you've noticed some of the memes going around on the internet, Mason Ryan versus Batista. But Dennis Rodman is entering rehab. He says it's due in part to this North Korea situation. Why is it that whenever somebody gets caught doing something dumb, they're always, I gotta go to rehab? Why is that the catch-all for everything?
Yeah, we went into talking about Justin Bieber, who needs rehab, and then Trace who went to rehab, and now Robin's announcing he's going to rehab. So yeah, he's blaming. It's not like North Korea had an IV hooked up to him, giving him alcohol. Dennis Rodman. It's like, I don't think Kim Jong-un promoted, that he's going to give him Goldschlager or something. I don't know. I just don't imagine that they're partying up in North Korea.
We've got Shannon Rose with us today. If you want to follow him on Twitter, it's at Shannon K. Rose. Also on Facebook, Shannon Rose Hollywood. And two more stories. One, this what is this bucktooth courtesy of Miley Cyrus? I haven't seen too much of this. I know you've got all the connections, so fill me in on this.
Yeah. Well, they're coming out with a pretty racy piece here. Not only will see her once again with not a lot of clothes on, but also with a bunch of bucktooth. And I understand the kids today already saw this and already are going to dentists to wanting their teeth to be bucktooth. And usually when you go to a dentist, you want to have buck teeth. Now they're asking the dentist to make their teeth buck. She coined the phrase "wrecking ball," or had a lot of people like Hulk Hogan and the porn actor or with the swinging off the wrecking ball. So
Ron Jeremy. Yep.
Now this is the new fad of having bucktooth courtesy of Miley Cyrus.
Well, of course, with Shannon Rose, we always have to talk one wrestling story before I let you go, and I'm going to try to squeeze two out of you. One being this Sting situation. Is Sting going to be going to the WWE? I know everybody and their brother's talking about it. He got wrote off the storylines on TNA as of this evening. He worked some house shows last week because he had to. It was part of his contract. What do you make of this? Is this just more just hyperbole, or is this actually happening?
Well, Jeff Hardy, it looks like he's gone. AJ Styles, I thought was gone, but he's there.
Yeah.
Which I still think he's still there. Hulk Hogan looks to be gone and going to WWE. So, I wouldn't put it past, Sting is coming up. He's 54 now, and,
yes.
I think he'll be great. I mean, that he can it'd be kind of ironic because Ultimate Warrior, who they teamed up with at the beginning of their career, who was it? Not Ed Sharkey, can't think of Red Bastien, but there was another guy I can't think of.
Yeah.
But they're the Blade Runners.
Yep.
And they ran together at the beginning of their career, so it'd be ironic, and even have Sting induct him, but then you couldn't induct Sting at that point, but maybe Sting the next year. Who knows?
And final question, and if you can peg this, you will be one of many, I believe. But who wins the Royal Rumble this Sunday?
Well, I'm almost, I'm not putting down Batista, but it almost is a given or obvious that Batista they're promoting.
Yeah.
So everybody's thinking that, but that's so. It's one of those things where everybody's looking for that. Like, that's going to happen. So I'm thinking that he doesn't like doing that, and some kind of swerve is going to happen. I don't know who that could be. Everybody's talking about Roman Reigns, but again, he's another given. But they're trying to promote Roman Reigns. So I think my possible bet, I'll put my money on Roman Reigns.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I was hoping that it would either be Roman or Punk or somebody like that. I didn't want him to just pass it right on over to Dave. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But if you want to get more information on anything that we've discussed here today, the letter I, the letter M, ShannonRose.com. You can also follow him on Twitter. He is at Shannon K. Rose, and also on Facebook as well. Shannon, have yourself a wonderful day. We'll talk next week, my friend.
Thank you, man.
Thank you much. Later. It's Shannon Rose, and we're going to take a timeout here. When we come back, we will... what was that? Apparently, I didn't record the TV portion of it, which is fine, because it's just a picture of him over audio. That's not a big deal. But when we get back, Brock LaRob will join us.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Fundraising is a great way to raise money for schools, churches, or any charity. Car washes and bake sales are so tired and time-consuming to organize. People want to help with supporting our clubs and charities, but don't always have the time to give. There is a better way. Giggle donation cards. At giggledonationcards.com, you can raise money the easy way while making people giggle in the process. And the best part, you get 1,000% return on your initial investment. Donations range from 50 cents to $2. Who could say no to that? Just visit giggledonationcards.com to learn more about raising money the easy way while putting a smile on people's faces. giggledonationcards.com. That's giggledonationcards.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station.
Yo, we got your attention?
Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Do you know who Daffy Duck is? Do you know what separates Daffy from other cartoon ducks? His pronounced lisp. He, like I, was born with it and didn't know he had a speech impediment. In school, his classmates would make fun of his condition by mimicking him right to his face. When Daffy got to high school, a real speech therapist showed him the mechanics of proper tongue position in his mouth, although it was kind of strange at first. In 2 weeks, Daffy was speaking like a normal cartoon duck and never lisped again in a social setting, although he did keep his lisp for business reasons when he was performing. Don't be Daffy Duck forever. Lose your lisp. This month, seek out Spider Guy only on Fiverr.com.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Well, head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
This is Chris Markowski, your watchdog on Wall Street, and this is your watchdog on Wall Street Money Minute. Well, the stock market has been, well, you don't want to look at the stock market in a short-term period of time. We preach that all the time here on the program, even though my email box will be inundated with stuff about what I think is going to happen next. And the reality is I don't know. Nobody knows. But taking a look at earnings, especially in the retail sector moving forward, it shows a lot of weakness in our economy. With that being said, many multinational corporations are more insulated today from downturns here in the United States, slow periods of growth here in the United States than ever before. They do business all over the globe, in every corner, every place, trying to, well, in essence, diversify their client base. This is why during this, well, recession, depression era that we've been in, it hasn't really affected them. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com.
Now, the Jiggy Jaguar Show on JiggyJaguar.com.
Well, we tried to call Brock LaRob during the last segment. He was nowhere to be found. I left our number. Hopefully he calls us 10 minutes after the hour. We gave him an entire hour. It's looking like it's not going to happen. Coast to coast and border to border, it is 11 minutes after the top of the third hour. Thanks for tuning into the big broadcast known the world over as the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show from the Transmedia Worldwide Studios. We're doing the damn thing from Hutchinson, Kansas. Like a blowfish, like a blowfish in a twine factory. I almost screwed up. Like a blowfish in a twine factory. We're live Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Eastern, 12 to 3 Pacific. Coast to coast and 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com, on the TuneIn apps, Radio Loyalty. We have our podcast, of course, is available each and every day at JiggyJaguar.com. And the all-new KJagRadio.com. If you haven't been to the all-new KJagRadio.com, you need to go over there right now. KJAGRadio.com. It is the brand new supersonic website, and that's a place to be. Creepy new Disney RFID bracelet to allow park characters to greet your child by name. Oh, happy days. Biometrics and tracking humans is now all part of the show at Disney. It's also a great way to condition all of us, especially our children, to what is coming next. This comes from Truth Stream Media. Of course, Truth Stream Media is the Truth Stream Media. Those are the that's Aaron Dykes and Melissa Melton's website, of course, formerly of the InfoWars operation. Now, there is a video that goes along with this, so we're going to put this up on our Ustream.
Melissa Melton here for True Stream Media, and I just have to say, something about Disney and Disney World and Disneyland just really creeps me out. I know it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and that's why thousands of children all across the world every year beg their parents to spend thousands of dollars so they can go there, but really it just creeps me out. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that Disney's one of the interconnected families tied to the bloodlines of the Illuminati by Fritz Springmeier. Check this out on whale.to if you haven't seen this information before. Very interesting read, but it'll take you a good several days to digest all this information. Maybe it's just all the ties to the CIA mind control program, MKUltra. Go ahead and do a search for that. That's only going to bring back about 25 million search results. Maybe it's the fact that it's just so pervasive in our culture. Disney is everywhere, and yet continuously all the time you see things come out where they've hidden a penis in the cover of a movie that's supposed to be watched by a bunch of 8-year-olds. Or, you know, in their packaging for other things. I mean, look at this. This is supposed to be a dress that Minnie's wearing. Have you ever seen anyone wear a dress like this? I mean, is there any other way you can take what that's supposed to be? Okay? And then they say, oh, oops, that was an accident. We don't know how that got there. We have no idea why that happens all the time. Or maybe it's just that It's a Small World song with the creepy dancing animatronic puppets that basically gave me nightmares after I went there when I was 12. And don't forget, Disney has been forcing all of its guests to submit to a biometric database for years. They've been requiring people to give their fingerprints as part of a ticket fraud prevention scheme. Well, now Disney's found another reason to completely freak me out and reaffirm the fact that I never want to take my children there. This is their new My Magic Plus program, and it's supposed to make your magical trip to magical Walt Disney World even that much more magical. And part of the magical is you get to wear an RFID Magic Band bracelet, which basically tracks you through your entire trip. And you use it to get into the park, you use it to get into your hotel room. There's a whole bunch of features on this. You're supposed to wear this little RFID band. And here's a closer look on this. And there it is. It's got Mickey's head on it. It's so great and wonderful. And of course, designed in the USA, but made in China. When you wear it, it's got an FCC ID number, because of course they're tracking you. And it's got your band ID, so you become a tracked, traced visitor. And if that's not creepy enough, the Magic Band is going to have the added bonus of allowing the creepy people dressed up like Mickey to know your children by name. Check this out. These brightly colored bands will not only link online profiles for each visiting family member, they can be scanned at kiosks, advanced ride bookings, customer service. Oh, it's also how you're going to pay for everything. So you have to have this RFID bracelet to pay for everything in the park. But also, while wearing her Magic Band, your daughter who loves Disney princesses might be approached by her favorite of the park's life-size characters and be greeted by name. Yeah, so that's not nightmare-inducing or anything. Especially when you consider the fact that back in 1998, investigative reporter Brian Ross, who worked with ABC News, was completely set to expose Disney. He had a whole story about the pedophilia accounts and lax security going on at theme park resorts, which included Walt Disney World, and they were going to air this on 2020. But Disney was the parent company of ABC, and they quashed the report. They shelved it, they killed it. No one's ever seen that report. It never aired. So there you go. Is it Disney magic? Is it the happiest place on earth? Or is it just future slave training with the added bonus of being tracked and traced with an RFID bracelet and possibly having your children find out what's really in those hidden tunnels underneath the park? I guess you can spend thousands of dollars to find out.
Now, here's the thing. I understand what she's getting at. But at the same time, my God, it's not that big of a deal. I get it. I understand. I understand what they're doing. They're getting everybody ready to go for slave training. But the bottom line is, if they're going to call the kids by their names, who gives a... When we get back, we're going to try to get a hold of Brock LaRob one more time. If not, we're going to talk about these potheads in Illinois. We got more when we get back.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Fundraising is a great way to raise money for schools, churches, or any charity. Car washes and bake sales are so tired and time-consuming to organize. People want to help with supporting our clubs and charities, but don't always have the time to give. There is a better way. Giggle donation cards. At giggledonationcards.com, you can raise money the easy way while making people giggle in the process. And the best part, you get 1,000% return on your initial investment. Donations range from 50 cents to $2. Who could say no to that? Just visit giggledonationcards.com to learn more about raising money the easy way while putting a smile on people's faces. giggledonationcards.com. That's giggledonationcards.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station.
Yo, we got your attention?
Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Do you know who Daffy Duck is? Do you know what separates Daffy from other cartoon ducks? His pronounced lisp. He, like I, was born with it and didn't know he had a speech impediment. In school, his classmates would make fun of his condition by mimicking him right to his face. When Daffy got to high school, a real speech therapist showed him the mechanics of proper tongue position in his mouth, although it was kind of strange at first. In 2 weeks, Daffy was speaking like a normal cartoon duck and never lisped again in a social setting, although he did keep his lisp for business reasons when he was performing. Don't be Daffy Duck forever. Lose your lisp. This month, seek out Spider Guy only on Fiverr.com.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkinson, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
Not sure? Just ask a lot of questions. This is ASC Auto Professional Pam Oaks reminding you of 2 important relationships in your life, your vehicle and your auto tech. It's important to trust that tech, but when you get an automotive diagnosis that you don't understand, it may be the time for a second opinion. For example, if your doctor wanted to perform surgery, you would make sure that you understood the procedure. So why treat your vehicle any different? I had an email writer ask about a diagnosis that she received from her tech. Basically, he told her if that she continued to drive her car, the transmission would fail. She didn't have an issue before the first repair. Why now? A second opinion confirmed that it was not the transmission, but a spark plug wire. Do your homework, ask questions, and, if needed, a second opinion. Want to know more about your vehicle? Visit me at carcarefortheclueless.com, making you a savvy car consumer.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Coast to coast and border to border, it is hour number 3 of the big broadcast. From Monday through Friday, we are live 2 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Eastern, 12 to 3 Pacific. 24/7 at jiggyjaguar.com on the TuneIn apps and Radio Loyalty. And, of course, each and every day, Monday through Friday, we are the morning show on TalkSuperstation.com. Thanks to Diamond Joe and everybody over there for helping us out. Today, you're joining us live on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. Also, TalkRadioX.com. And we've got a great guest with us. Dr. Braun joins us. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about your latest project. Before we get into this, give us a brief background here so everybody can kind of know where you're coming from on some of the different things we're going to talk about here.
Well, I am a psychologist and was in private practice for many, many, many years. And I have actually, in the last several years, focused on the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship, and currently doing some research on the other in-law relationships. So that is kind of my expertise at this point.
Now, you're doing some amazing stuff, and we've had you on in the past, and I wanted to get you back on today to discuss all sorts of different things. First of all, with Valentine's Day and everything around the corner, Give us a little bit of information on what your some of the different things that you're doing and how that affects that.
Well, I think one of the things that I'm helping people deal with, is that you really want to think about this holiday a little differently. I think sometimes women have some pretty high expectations, and when they do, they often don't share that with their partner, and so as a result, they typically can get disappointed. So, one, I think it's really important that people don't put too high of expectations on this day, and just see it as a celebration for the relationship in general and not all the things you should be getting.
Now, I know that there's a lot of different things going on in the world as far as relationships and all these. Tell us a little bit more about how people can interact better, I guess.
Well, I think the biggest thing with people in the way they relate is their communication. It's almost like people don't really feel comfortable talking to each other and really sharing everything that they need to be sharing. They assume people know what they want or know what they're thinking, and you really need to tell people if you want or need something from them, it's really important that you share that information with them. Why should they have to guess or mind read, which not many people are very good at that.
We've got a great guest with us today. Dr. Deanna Braun joins us, and drdeannabraun.com is her website. And Reluctantly Related is her latest book, Secrets to Getting Along with Your Mother-in-Law or Daughter-in-Law. And relationships, resolutions, all sorts of different things. Let's talk about this for 2014. How to identify the areas that need improvement, setting realistic goals, and working together to achieve success. Tell us about this.
Well, I think the main thing is you want to be successful. We all, when we set our goals and stuff, we really want to be successful with this. And so the best way to do this is, one, you really need to get into the details. When you say you want to have a better relationship, well, that is so general, it doesn't really say anything. So you really want to be very specific and start writing down exactly what you mean by what would a better relationship look like. That's where you need to start, because you need to know what it is you're actually looking for so you'll know when you get it.
Okay, can you expand on that a little bit more?
Sure. For example, you say you want a better relationship. Well, what does that mean? Well, what would it look like? It might look like, my husband and I would... we're going to go out, on a date night once a week. Well, that's very concrete, so you can make that happen. And one of the ways to make these things happen is to set small baby steps.
Yeah.
Okay, you may not do it every week, the first month or two, but you can work your way towards that, and then you can see the progress that you're making. Again, you're not going to go from A to Z right away. We don't behave like that. So you've got to take baby steps to make things happen, and that would be in any relationship. You want a better relationship with your mother-in-law or daughter-in-law? Well, what would that look like? And then you start taking those baby steps that will move you closer to that.
We've got a great guest with us today. Dr. Deanna Braun joins us. drdeannabraun.com is her official website. Passive-aggressive in-laws. Give us some tips here on how to beat them at their own game, my friend.
Okay, well, the first thing is, if you're a daughter-in-law and you have a passive-aggressive mother-in-law, and you see that everywhere, the best way for a daughter-in-law, or anyone actually, to deal with this, is to use humor. And people don't think about that, but this is a great time when she starts saying something about, woe is me or I'm fine, but then her behavior shows you that she's not really fine.
Yeah.
Just start laughing about it, making it fun, making it interesting, kind of see a joke about it, and laugh about it, and make it into something more humorous, because it catches her off guard. She doesn't know what to do with that, and she really can't do anything with it. So it just takes the heaviness out of it, makes it light, and then you move on to another subject. Another thing you can do is, if she says she's fine, take her at her word. Act like she's fine, no matter what if she's brooding over there, or she's sitting in the corner, but she's fine. act like she's fine. Be naive. Take her at her word. You're fine? Okay, great. I'll move on. Because, again, you catch her off guard. And you're saying, look, I'm not going to play the game. But you don't have to say it. You can just do it through your behavior. Those are two of the best ways to deal with it.
Dr. Deanna Braun joins us today here on TalkRadioX.com and also 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. 29 minutes after the hour, we've got a great guest with us today. Dr. Braun is available at drdeannabraun.com. And one more quick thing before we take a break with you here. How can we set relationship standards with your in-laws before you walk down the aisle?
The best way, the best thing for both mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law to do would be you need to create a relationship with this person that is independent of your son or your husband. Get to know her. Get to know her likes, dislikes, those kinds of things. Because once you develop a relationship with her, you have a vested interest in her and not what her role is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Real quick before we take a break, can you follow up on that point a little bit?
Yeah, typically we see her as, my son's wife or his mother. Well, that puts her in a category, and it's like you don't know anything about her. You can't relate to her as a person because you're relating to her as his mother. And that puts a wall up between the two of you, or his, wife. So, you want to break that wall down, and the best way to do that is to get to know who she is, her likes, her dislikes. Try to create a relationship with her that has nothing to do with him, that is just something between the two of you. Then you're going to find things that you have in common interests, common likes and dislikes, that kind of thing. And you start to have a more personal interest in her as opposed to, as I said, her role in this new family.
We're going to take a quick time out here with Dr. Braun, and when we come back, we are going to chat a little bit more about this topic, so hold on. We're going to take a quick time out here. We'll be back with Dr. Braun here in a few moments.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Fundraising is a great way to raise money for schools, churches, or any charity. Car washes and bake sales are so tired and time-consuming to organize. People want to help with supporting our clubs and charities, but don't always have the time to give. There is a better way. Giggle donation cards. At giggledonationcards.com, you can raise money the easy way while making people giggle in the process. And the best part, you get 1,000% return on your initial investment. Donations range from 50 cents to $2. Who could say no to that? Just visit giggledonationcards.com to learn more about raising money the easy way while putting a smile on people's faces. giggledonationcards.com. That's giggledonationcards.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station.
Yo, we got your attention?
Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Do you know who Daffy Duck is? Do you know what separates Daffy from other cartoon ducks? His pronounced lisp. He, like I, was born with it and didn't know he had a speech impediment. In school, his classmates would make fun of his condition by mimicking him right to his face. When Daffy got to high school, a real speech therapist showed him the mechanics of proper tongue position in his mouth, although it was kind of strange at first. In 2 weeks, Daffy was speaking like a normal cartoon duck and never lisped again in a social setting, although he did keep his lisp for business reasons when he was performing. Don't be Daffy Duck forever. Lose your lisp. This month, seek out Spider Guy only on Fiverr.com.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
It's a Minute Report for America. One of the most ominous threats to the American form of government is the growing lack of integrity in our electoral process. Voter fraud is real, and its impact is growing. There are several startling examples of how blatant this challenge is. In Philadelphia, for example, the site of clear-cut cases of anti-McCain voter intimidation in the 2008 elections, 59 precincts did not show a single vote in 2012 for Mitt Romney. A review of national state-by-state voting results reveals that President Obama lost in every state that required all voters to show identification. The National Review's John Fund recently reported on one example of how lax integrity controls are in America's largest city, New York. According to Fund, the New York City Department of Investigation sent undercover agents to 63 polling sites last autumn, pretending to be voters turned away elsewhere. They used the names of individuals who had died or moved out of state. At 61 of those sites, equaling 97%, they were allowed to vote. In order not to affect the results, they cast meaningless write-in ballots for a fictional name. In an era where you have to show ID to enter many office buildings, board an airplane, or cash a check, and where those IDs are relatively easy and inexpensive to obtain, it is absurd not to require them for identification to vote. Being against voter ID is being in favor of voter fraud. I'm Frank Vernuccio. Read more at usagovpolicy.com.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Coast to coast and border to border, all over TalkRadioX.com, as well as 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada today. We have a great guest joining us for a second segment here. Dr. Deanna Braun joins us. The website, drdeannabraun.com, and Dr. Braun joins us today. She's a relationship and in-law relationship expert. We wanted to get her on today. We had her on fairly recently, talking about reluctantly related secrets to getting along with your mother-in-law or daughter-in-law. And she joins us here on the program. Dr. Braun, as we were talking before we went to break here, we were talking about various tips and different things that you can do. Tell us a little bit about some of the tips on how to include your mother-in-law in your wedding plans without going absolutely bonkos.
Well, one of the best things to do is, she wants to be included because it's her son, but she's not sure how to do all this. So I think for a daughter-in-law to be to get things off on the right track, give her some little things to do so that she feels like she's a part of things. That would be one thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be major things. It can just be small things, but just it allows her to feel like she's included, and that's important to her. Another thing I would recommend is that you include her in things that you do. Sometimes your mother, and the bridesmaids and stuff will get together, and you may go out to dinner together, or you may go get your nails done, or you may do those kinds of things together as a group, kind of a bonding thing. It would be great to include her in those things. She may or may not go, but at least if you invite her, again, it makes her feel like she's a part of the group and that she matters. And that's really important. Those are two of the biggest things that I think a daughter-in-law can do. Probably another one would be, kind of figure out in advance how you want to include her in the family, and start to do those things even before you get married, so that she can start to feel, feel and understand what her place is in this new family system.
We've got a great guest with us today. Dr. Braun joins us here on the program talking about all sorts of different things as it relates to relationships. And she also has the book, Reluctantly Related, Secrets to Getting Along with Your Mother-in-Law or Daughter-in-Law. It's available on Amazon. Also, drdeannabraun.com is her official website. At 40 minutes after the hour, we've got Dr. Braun here for a couple minutes here before we end this segment. The man in the middle, how the son and the husband affects the mill and dill relationship. Tell us about all this.
Well, that poor man, I have to say, probably the best thing to say. He loves his mother, he loves his wife, he loves them differently. He's not sure what to do with all this, and you got to remember, men don't have the same kinds of relationships that women do. They don't get caught up in all the drama that women do, and so they don't typically understand why this relationship has to be so hard. And, they've got the wife, talking to them about, your mother does this. And then sometimes you have the mom saying, your wife is doing this. And so he doesn't know what to do. Typically, he tries to fix it. He tries to understand both sides. And what ends up happening is then they're both angry at him, And so he really can't win. His best bet is to get out of the middle and let those two people, his wife, his mother, kind of work out their own relationship. He can be a sounding board for his wife, but he really can't fix it. And that's something that I think the women want him to do, but he can't. And I think he knows he can't.
Okay.
He tries.
Okay. 41 minutes after the hour, we've got a couple minutes here left to go with Dr. Braun. How is the book doing? How is that going for you?
It's going great. I've had the best feedback on that book. It is, I think I just hit a chord with people, having lived it myself. I think that really resonates with people. I mean, this is a difficult relationship for the daughter-in-law, for the mother-in-law, and for the husband and son. I mean, everybody struggles in this. And so I think it's such an important relationship. So it's something that I think we all have to really take a look at. And part of my reason for writing it is I really wanted to help the families deal better with this and be able to have a good relationship. So I'm very happy with the results and the feedback that I'm getting.
Well, Dr. Braun has been our guest today. Doctor, thanks for being on. This was a fantastic interview as always. And come back anytime, my friend.
I will. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me again.
Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Dr. Braun.
Bye-bye now.
Dr. Deanna Braun. When we come back, 43 minutes after the hour, we've got time for one more thing, and I don't know what it's going to be. But we'll figure that out. On the other side, you're listening to the big broadcast known the world over as the Jiggy Jaguar Show.
At DollarSeed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit DollarSeed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. DollarSeed.com. What could be healthier?
This is your radio philosopher, Eric Papp, bringing you your thought of the day. In the early 1900s, consultant Ivy Lee wanted the business of Bethlehem Steel. After months of persistence and determination, he finally had a conversation with the CEO of Bethlehem Steel, Charles Schwab. He told Charles that he could increase the productivity of his managers by at least 20%. So he met with the managers, spent about 15 to 20 minutes, shared with him his simple yet effective system. And on his way out, Charles asked what his fee was. He said, "Don't pay me until you've used my system for at least 2 weeks, and then you can pay me for what it's worth." 2 weeks later, Ivy Lee received a check for $25,000. In the next thought of the day, I'll reveal his system. For more thoughts, you can download my app, Eric Papp. Thanks, and remember, this is your life.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station.
Yo, we got your attention?
Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
Do you know who Daffy Duck is? Do you know what separates Daffy from other cartoon ducks? His pronounced lisp. He, like I, was born with it and didn't know he had a speech impediment. In school, his classmates would make fun of his condition by mimicking him right to his face. When Daffy got to high school, a real speech therapist showed him the mechanics of proper tongue position in his mouth, although it was kind of strange at first. In 2 weeks, Daffy was speaking like a normal cartoon duck and never lisped again in a social setting, although he did keep his lisp for business reasons when he was performing. Don't be Daffy Duck forever. Lose your lisp. This month, seek out Spider Guy only on Fiverr.com.
Fundraising is a great way to raise money for schools, churches, or any charity. Car washes and bake sales are so tired and time-consuming to organize. People want to help with supporting our clubs and charities, but don't always have the time to give. There is a better way. Giggle donation cards. At giggledonationcards.com, you can raise money the easy way while making people giggle in the process. And the best part, you get 1,000% return on your initial investment. Donations range from 50 cents to $2. Who could say no to that? Just visit giggledonationcards.com to learn more about raising money the easy way while putting a smile on people's faces. giggledonationcards.com. That's giggledonationcards.com.
Welcome to the Racing to Success Minute with Nadine Lajoie. Be honest all the time. We all know that business is not always easy, but when you are starting to do some lies and you are not honest with your employees or your spouse or your clients, that's where everything starts to go down the hill. So be honest all the time. Be sure you are setting up with your client the expectation, what they are looking for, what you are looking for, and be sure that you are respecting your words, your contracts, and your agreements. Please don't be part of those who are not walking their talk. This is Nadine at nadineracing.com/free. If you want some free coaching online, just sign up for our newsletter.
back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Coast to coast and border to border at 49 minutes after the hour. Illinois potheads. Apparently, they are giving up their Second Amendment rights, kids. I don't exactly know what the hell this story is, but apparently Illinois is mulling a new medical marijuana law that would force pot users to sign away their right to bear arms. And they're fine with it. This comes from beforeitsnews.com. Those who focus on the right to bear arms love to say, what part of the shall not be infringed don't you understand, as a catchphrase to show that the founders did not want government to be able to sweep in and take away our rights to self-defense. That phrase can be asked of Illinois legislators who are proposing that to get a medical marijuana permit, citizens would have to relinquish their right to bear arms. The plan would require pot users to be fingerprinted for a background check. They'd have to pay a yearly $150 permit fee, and they'd be forced to give up their Second Amendment rights to be allowed to get pot. Interestingly, the National Rifle Association is not too keen on this. They are jumping on this, apparently coming to the aid of the pot users in the role that they aren't comfortable with. So now, the hell's my mouse at? There it is. So, here's what the NRA has to say about this. National Rifle Association, I find the NRA's passing of this matter gutless. I'm not a fan of pot use. In fact, I've never done the drug in my life, nor am I a fan of legalizing it. But the NRA not to see that this proposed law is clearly unconstitutional is pretty sad. And now, of course, the fact that one cannot relinquish a constitutional right merely to be allowed to do something else, it's a strange situation. There we are. There's my microphone. What is going on with these headphones? You hear that? You don't hear that. I hear it in my headphones. I think the headphones are shot. I think they're slowly but surely getting shot. 52 minutes after the hour. Thanks for joining us today here on the Worldwide Broadcast. And the hell is this? I don't know what that is. Some type of banner ad or some crap. Brock LaRob's supposed to join us. Brock LaRob nowhere to be found, so we'll catch up to him in 3 months. Maybe he'll be available then. Next week on this broadcast, we're going to talk new media with a interesting guest. Next Thursday, of course, it is a big guest Thursday, if that's what we're calling it. I don't know what we're calling it here. Is that what it is? Joe Concha, who writes for Mediaite, will be with us next week. He wrote a story fairly recently for Mediaite, and we will chat with him next Thursday as part of our big guest interview series. Tomorrow on this program, we're going to talk with Ann Speckard about terrorism. Terrorism! We're going to talk to Paul Toby as well. Stuart Wiener and Gary Bronga, of course, will join us. We'll have our round table discussion group with Richard from Strategies PR, and of course Jonathan Harris, I believe, is the legal expert. Watchdog on Wall Street with Christopher Markowski tomorrow as well. He will be live with us on the telephone. And let's see. Oh, last night we were referencing this earlier. I don't know why I'm referencing this now. I think it's just because I'm terribly, terribly bored. And we were supposed to have Brock all the way up till the end. So we had to fill the time. We had to go grab Dr. Braun. Dr. Braun was supposed to be on at the top of the hour, but she didn't make it, so we got her on. But the Dez. Yes, the Dez. The Dez is a internet annoyance, I guess. I don't know what you'd call the guy. He often likes to say that we only... Where is this? He likes to say that we only have 209, is that it? I don't know. Something. I'd have to look that up on Shoutcast. But he likes to say that we only have 3 listeners here. He absolutely loves making fun of radio stations or some. What is his thing? I don't know what it is. He just enjoys being an annoyance to people. And he has started to gather some steam. He started to run his mouth and all sorts of